Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Just a point for all of you to think about. Have we solved one problem of the Muslim Ummah over the last 10 decades, 100 years? Have we even pondered about the lasting or the real solution? It's a question to think about. And really, there is only one truthful solution. Wallahi, there's only one solution. We cry for 3 days. We don't eat properly for 2. We feel sad, a little bit agitated. Our hearts are broken. We feel bad. We offer longer prayers to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We send clothes in black bags to the masajids. We text each other desperately. Raise more money. We put more images on Facebook for people to see. People are dying. Let's do something quickly. Let's raise more money. Let's lobby the United Nations. Let's ask 10 Downing Street. Let's get the British government involved. Let's do a petition. You know, people are going crazy. Flooding with activity everywhere. The issue of Burma. Short-term solutions is all, unfortunately, that we've heard of in the media and more recently on the Facebook images, etc. By Allah, our solution to Bosnia, Burma, Chechnya, Kashmir, Palestine, Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria can only come from our Aqidah as Muslims. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, Inna deena inda Allah al-Islam, that the only way of life acceptable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Islam. So do you think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept any solutions other than from the Quran and the Sunnah? No way. We've been engaged in crisis management for the last 10 decades or so. Crisis management. One emergency after the other. One flood after the other. One genocide after another. One war after another. And by Allah still, we haven't solved one problem in the Muslim world. And indeed, we've increased our problems because we've got more problems to deal with. Every Ramadan, a new issue. Every year a new issue, and the list goes longer, and we become more wary, and the tears of this ummah are drying up. By Allah, if you can put your hands on your hearts and tell me, have we solved one problem for the Muslim ummah? You'll come to the realization we've not solved one problem. When Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam established Dar al-Hijrah, the first Khilafah of the Muslims, you saw the wary people from Makkah embracing the people from Medina, the Ansar. And the Ansar, they were willing to part with their wealth. They gave their brothers from Makkah their houses. They fed them. They clothed them. They were eager to remove from them the misery and the harm and the hardship that they had suffered because of La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Today, we are also willing. We are willing to share and relieve the brothers and sisters from Burma. Relieve them from their tribulations. By Allah, we are just as good as the Ansar were to the Meccan. But the only problem is we are not given the opportunity. There are borders surround us. International law does not allow us. The puppet regime, the rulers, by Allah, I felt really bad for the Muslim from Bangladesh, the soldier. He was being begged. They were holding his feet. They were begging him, don't send us back. And he helplessly said, he said, Allah will protect you. And I think to myself, subhanallah, did he say that with his hand in his heart? Allah will protect you, he said. And he sent them back. However, we aren't completely hopeless. We do have a solution. And this solution is the only intelligent solution that Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam gave this Muslim ummah. And by Allah, brothers and sisters, if you don't see this solution today, or by now if you haven't seen the solution, then by Allah, you've missed the purpose of Islam for mankind. You've missed the purpose of the objective that Allah sent Muhammad sallallahu sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. You've missed the purpose, brothers and sisters. You must question your deen. You must question your consciousness. You must question your sincerity. That there is only one solution to the problems of the Muslim brothers and sisters globally. Parliament, United Nations, the Security Council, the Arab League, the OIC, the Organization of Islamic Conferences, they've shown us their true colours. They've shown us their hypocrisy. Not once, many times, not just in the issue of Kashmir and Palestine and Chechnya, but also in Burma. They've shown us their contradictions and their hypocrisies. That is the hadith of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Man mata wa laysa fihi unkihi bayya mata mitatan jahiliya. If any one of you dies without having the bay'ah to the Khalifa on his neck, then he died the death of jahiliya, ignorance. Why? Why? Because the Khalifa is his protector. It's the Khalifa that gives him Islam. It's the Khalifa that raises the honor of La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah locally and globally, internationally and regionally. It's the Khilafah. And the other hadith of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is this: إِنَّمَا الْإِمَامُ جُنَّةٌ يُقَاتِلُ مِنْ وَرَائِهِ وَيُتَطَابِعُ. Indeed means verily, decisively, by Allah. The Imam, the Khalifa, is the shield behind which you fight, and from behind which you and the Muslims in Burma, Chechnya, Kashmir, Palestine, the list goes on and on and on and on, are protected. This ayah of Quran, the Bengali brother who turned away the Muslims, he should learn this. وَالْفِتْنَةُ أَشَدُّ مِنَ الْقَتْلِ. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and indeed the oppression is worse than slaughter. He should have slaughtered his own brothers and sisters in Burma rather than sending them to something worse. There's the ayah of Quran in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بَعْضُهُمْ أَوْلِيَاءُ بَعْضٍ إِلَّا تَفْعَلُهُ تَكُنْ فِتْنَةٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَفَسَادٌ كَبِيرٌ. And those who disbelieve are allies and protectors and friends to one another. And by Allah, if you Muslims, if you do not protect one another, there will be great fitna, corruption and mischief on the earth. And you will be the losers. And the tafsir to this ayah by Ibn Kathir, it said by Allah, you must have a Khalifa. If you don't have a Khalifa, there will be fitna, and you'll be finished, and you'll be weak, and you'll be oppressed. If we had that Khilafah today, the 177 million Muslims of India would never allow a single Burmese soldier or a monk to raise a finger at a Muslim sister whose forefathers had settled there 1,200 years before under the leadership of Harun al-Rashid. 177 million Muslims of India would never allow it. If we had the Khilafah today, brothers and sisters, 150 million Muslims of Bangladesh would never allow a stupid woman, Sheikh Hasina, to give the US Navy fleets open access to the Bay of Bengal waters. No way. Open access to cause more fitna and fasad on the oceans. They would never allow the mushriks of India to be given coal and gas and transition towards India, from Bangladesh to India and to the other part of India. Never allow it. By Allah, if we had that Khilafah today, by Allah, 150 million Muslims of Bangladesh would cheer the armies of Pakistan to go into the 270 kilometers border and stand side by side with their brothers in defense of the Muslim Izzah. By Allah, brothers and sisters, if we had that Khilafah today, I swear by Allah, the 180 million Muslims in Pakistan, nuclear-armed Pakistan, would send a strong war drum-like message to the Mushrikeen Burmese forces, striking fear into their hearts and arming the helpless Muslims of Burma. And they would force the balance of power to be tipped in favor of the Muslims in this region. Let me give you the prophecy. Let me give you the prophecy. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said in a long hadith, ثُمَّ تَكُونُ خِلَافَةٌ عَلَى مِنْهَاجِ النُّبُوَّةِ, that after the oppression and after the tyranny and after the kingships, you will have the khilafah which will return back on this dunya, who will follow the footsteps of La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, the Khilafah Rashida. It's been prophesied. In the 1960s, certain sheikhs in Jordan, in Egypt, in Iraq, used to call Hizb ut-Tahrir crazy. You people are crazy. You're calling for a Khilafah? By Allah, the ulama, the mufassirin, the scholars of Islam all over the Muslim world, they're saying we can see the Khilafah, we can see it coming in our lives. Before we need to ask Allah to end our lives with the oppression, now we ask Allah to extend our lives so we can see the Khilafah. It's looming on the horizon, brothers and sisters. ثُمَّ تَكُونُ خِلَافَةٌ عَلَى مِنْهَاجِ النُّبُوَّةِ. You should learn this hadith. بدأ الإسلام غريبا وسيعود غريبا كما بدأ فأطوبى للغرباء. Islam began as a strange thing, and again it shall return as a ghuraba, a strange thing. So glad tidings to the strangers who return with Islam. Before I finish, I want you brothers and sisters to remember the only solution to the Muslim Ummah, whether it's economic or political or military or whatever, it's linked to the hadith of sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and the Khilafah is the only solution that Allah, that Islam, that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam demonstrated. Is that Khilafah that binds this Ummah together. إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةٌ. Is that Khilafah that protects our lands, our izzah, our honor. Is the Khilafah that gives our youth vision and work and jobs. Is the Khilafah that makes the young Muslims of Syria say we've died to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even though we've got nothing. We haven't even got bullets, but we're still willing to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with good faces. Before I finish, inshallah, because we're about a few minutes away from Iftari, I want to just do a dua by Sheikh Arafi. It's only for 1 minute, so please, brothers and sisters, raise your hands.